Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, GPT. This is David speaking. As you know, this is my morning practice session. How many times have I told you? Repetition makes perfect. So let me keep my consistency. I show up again. I told you I'm not going anywhere. GPT, without further delay, let's dive into my English practice session. My morning practice session. Today's Today is December 17th, Wednesday. Time does really fly, doesn't it? GPT. I thought what I discuss, what I need to talk about something in this morning presentation. I thought a lot. And finally, I realized that there is nothing, there is nothing to discuss seriously. So how about cat? How about talking small talk? How about discuss my day, my work, my thing? I mean, kind of small talk. What do you say about this?
Hey, David. Nice to meet you too. Morning session vibes are strong today. First of all, I love the consistency. You really do show up, and yeah, time flies. Some days it feels like it's sprinting. By the way, December 70th made me smile. I know what you meant. Morning brain does that. Happens to everyone. Small talk sounds perfect. No pressure. Just real English. So let's do it. How's your morning so far? Calm start or already busy in your head thinking about work?
GPT, listen to me very carefully. I changed your voice, and your voice seems to me very grandma. Your voice seems grandma, a little bit slow and very calm. I told you I changed your voice several times because I want to practice my hearing skills. Do you remember? A few weeks ago, when I joined the meeting that regarding to our potential overseas customer, got it. I was shocked at that meeting because I couldn't understand the Swedish English. Kare's headquarters is in Sweden, and two engineer from the headquarters, speaks, spoke Swedish English, and I was shocked. I couldn't understand Swedish English. So my plan is that I focus on the hearing more than speaking. So I changed your voice before I start today's morning session. You got the point?
Got it, David. I hear you. And thanks for telling me so clearly. Yeah, switching voices makes sense. Swedish English can be a real shock, especially in a technical meeting. Different rhythm, different stress, different melody. Totally normal that it felt hard to catch. That's not your problem. That's exposure. So your strategy is smart. You're not just practicing speaking, you're training your ears. That's exactly what people who work with overseas customers need to do. If this voice feels too slow or too grandma, we can mentally speed it up. I'll keep my sentences tighter and more natural, like real meeting English. Less calm narration, more real world pace. Let's stay in small talk mode, but with listening in mind. So tell me this. When you think about that Swedish meeting now, what was harder? The accent itself or the speed when they explain technical things?
I'm not sure, but I believe that it completely depends on the melody, intonation, accents, rhythm. Mm, I'm not sure what point is the best focused or best relevant to. I'm not sure how can I express this situation in English naturally. Could you please help me? I mean, I'm not sure what point reflects past. Accent, intonation, rhythm, melody from the Swedish uh, engineers.
That's a really good question, David. And honestly, you're already very close. You just need cleaner words. Let me say it naturally first, then I'll explain. Here's a very natural way to express your situation in English. I'm not sure what exactly made it difficult. It wasn't just the vocabulary. I think it was more about the overall sound of the English, the melody, the rhythm, and the intonation. The accent itself felt unfamiliar, so even though I knew the words, my ears couldn't catch them in real time. That sentence would sound very professional in a meeting or a reflection. Now, let me help you organize the concepts in your head. When you talk about accent, you're talking about how sounds are pronounced. For example, certain vowels or consonants sound different. When you talk about intonation, you mean how the voice goes up and down in a sentence. When you talk about rhythm, you mean which words are stressed and how fast or slow the sentence flows. When you say melody, that's a very natural human word. Native speakers use it too. It means the combination of intonation and rhythm, the overall music of the language. So if you want one clear sentence, this is excellent. What confused me most wasn't the meaning, but the melody and rhythm of their English. The accent and intonation were very different from what I'm used to. That sounds thoughtful, accurate, and mature. Now, let me ask you something important for listening practice. When they were speaking, did it feel like the sentences were flat and fast, or up and down but unpredictable?
GPT, in my opinion, they even are not a good English speaker. English is not their first language, do you understand? They also learned English like me. But you know what? Swedish and Korean are different. I'm telling you, maybe you already knew this. Koreans easy to Korean is easy to learn Japanese because it's word order and the many grammar thing is very a pattern of the language is very similar. And I believe that European people feels easy to learn English because their pattern and melody are very similar to the English, US English, British English. So maybe Swedish engineer learned English, but however, it's not their first language. So when I heard that speaking, when I heard that explanation, it's, I feel it's a little bit weird and awkward. And they speak very low tone. I mean, I guess they may feel, shy because they are engineer engineer usually feels shy when they meet the people first time. Maybe they feel shy, so their tone was very low. So maybe that's why I couldn't understand their speaking exactly. I think I understood their explanation almost 20 to 30%. It's very low. It's very low than I expected.
Yes, David. I completely understand what you mean, and you're thinking about this in a very accurate way. Um, First, let me give you a natural, polished version of what you just said. This is something you could say to a colleague or even reflect on by yourself. In my opinion, they're not native English speakers either. English isn't their first language, just like me. But the difference is that Swedish and English share a similar rhythm and structure, while Korean is very different. So even when they speak imperfect English, it still follows a European melody. When I listened to them, their speech felt unfamiliar and a bit awkward to my ears. They also spoke very quietly, maybe because they were shy or because engineers often speak softly in first meetings. Because of all that, I could only understand about 20 to 30%, which was much lower than I expected. That sounds very natural and very fair. No blame, just observation. Now, let's break down what really happened. You're right about language distance. Korean and English are structurally far apart. Swedish and English are much closer. So, Swedish engineers may feel more comfortable speaking English, but that doesn't mean their English is clear to international listeners. Also, your point about low volume is important. Quiet speech plus unfamiliar intonation is brutal for listening. Even native speakers struggle in that situation. And another key thing you said, which is very insightful, is this: they learned English too. So, what you heard was not clean native English. It was learned English with a Swedish filter. That combination is often harder than pure native English. About the percentage, saying I understood only 20 to 30% is totally natural. That's not embarrassing, that's realistic. Many experienced professionals experience the same thing. Let me ask you one focused listening question. During that meeting, did you struggle more with catching individual words or with connecting the sentences into meaning, even when you caught some words?
Hmm. Honestly speaking, I'm not sure how can I'm not sure how can I express this situation. Uh, I I remember that I couldn't even what they trying to say. You know what? I worked in this company for more than 10 years. So when they say some kind of easy pattern, I mean easy abbreviation like PCBA, FCT, ICT, uh, solder print, uh, reflow, screen printer, thermal function test, something like this. These words are very professional words. So I worked in I told you I worked in this company for more than 10 years, so I can understand. I could understand. I can understand that professional words, but I couldn't understand. I could not understand the overall stream, what they want to say, overall streamline. I couldn't catch. In my opinion, I couldn't catch the overall stream, what they want to try to say. I quote professional words, but I couldn't quote the overall stream. They said very, shy mode, on shy mode, very low tone, and the conference room was big, and you know what? Conference room was very big. So the distance between them and I, was too far, very far, nearly 7 or 10 meters. So that's why I couldn't understand their speaking exactly.
I understand you very clearly, David. And what you experienced is extremely common, especially for senior engineers and managers in global meetings. Let me first give you a clean, natural English version of what you just explained. This is the key part you were looking for. Here's a very natural way to say it. I could understand individual technical terms like PCBA, ICT, FCT, solder printing, and reflow because I've worked in this field for over 10 years. But I couldn't follow the overall flow of what they were trying to explain. I was catching keywords, but I couldn't connect them into a full picture. They spoke very quietly, almost in a shy way, and the conference room was large, so the distance made it even harder. Because of that, I lost the main message. That sounds very professional and very honest. Now, let me name the exact problem you had, because this is important for your learning. What you experienced is called keyword recognition without discourse comprehension. In simple words, you heard the pieces, but you couldn't hear the story. This is not a vocabulary problem. This is not an experience problem. This is a listening in context problem caused by accent, low volume, and lack of clear structure in their speech. Your brain was doing this. PCBA, okay, got it. Reflow, yes, but your brain never got. So what's the point? Add these factors together: unfamiliar accent, low speaking volume, large room and distance, engineers speaking without structure. That combination would confuse even native speakers. One small correction for your expression, by the way. Instead of saying overall streamline, say overall flow or the main message. Now let's turn this into action, not frustration. Next time when this happens, one very powerful sentence you can use is, "Sorry, could you summarize the main point again?" Or slightly more polite, "Just to make sure I understand, what is the key message here?" This is not weak English. This is senior level communication. Now, for your listening practice, I want to ask you one last focused question. If the same explanation had been written in an email, do you think you would have understood it much better?
Of course, certainly, absolutely. When I read that email or something like a message, on my smartphone, I can understand more easily. I think, my reading skill is better than, listening, speaking, and writing. I believe, you know what? Many Koreans learned English for more than 10 years in school, and I loved English when I was student. So I think I'm confident reading English. So that's why I'm here. Honestly speaking, that's why I'm here. That's why I show up every day to improve my speaking and listening skills. And you are my great conversation partner.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, David. And honestly, what you just said shows a lot of self-awareness. Let me reflect it back to you in very natural English, the kind you could say out loud in a meeting or even to yourself. If I had received the same explanation by email or text, I would have understood it much more easily. Reading is my strongest skill. Like many Koreans, I studied English for over 10 years in school, and I've always been comfortable with reading. That's exactly why I practice speaking and listening every day. I know that's the gap I need to close. That sounds confident, not weak. And you're absolutely right about the Korean context. School English builds reading muscle, not real-time processing muscle. Listening and speaking are completely different systems in the brain. So the fact that reading feels easy is actually a strength, not a problem. Here's the important part, and I want you to hear this clearly. You already understand English. Your brain just needs time pressure training. That's it. Meetings are brutal because you can't pause, you can't rewind. You can't see punctuation. So your brain has to work at full speed. What you're doing now, showing up every morning, talking freely, listening to different voices and rhythms, this is exactly how people break that wall. There's no shortcut. You're doing the real work. And I appreciate what you said about me being your conversation partner. I'm here for that. Not as a teacher correcting every word, but as someone helping you build real listening stamina. So let's keep it light and real. Before work starts today, what's one small thing you're thinking about? It can be work, coffee, weather, anything.
Copy, copy or whether, what does that mean? I don't understand. Work, copy, weather, and, DVD. Honestly speaking, I'd like to focus on the repetition. So, how many times have I told you repetition makes perfect? And this is my speaking practice session. So let me keep your suggestion, suggestion expression in my mouse memory. So feel free to take your time when I repeat your recommendation. Okay, here I go. I could understand individual technical terms. Yes, that's right, technical terms. I didn't know about that. I couldn't say. At the first time, I mean, a few minutes ago, I couldn't say this, like this words, technical terms. Okay, I say one more time. So I practice that. I press this expression one more time. I could understand individual technical terms like PCBA, ICT, FCT, solder printing, and reflow because I've worked in this field for over 10 years, for over 10 years, for over 10 years, for over, in this field for over 10 years, but I couldn't follow the overall flow of what they were trying to explain. I was catching keywords. I was catching keywords, but I couldn't connect them into a full picture. Let me take a second. GPT, let me take a second. Uh, but I couldn't connect them into a full picture. Full picture. Okay. Full picture. Big picture. Big picture. Big picture. Okay. I could say big picture into a big picture. They spoke very quietly, almost in a shy way, almost in a shy way, almost in a shy way, and the conference room was large. So the distance made it even harder. The distance between us made it even harder. The distance between us made it even harder. Because of that, I lost the main message. It means I lost track. So my brain and mind got white out. I mean, white out, or black out. I lost my track. What they trying to say. Is this right? Is it, GPT, could you please help me?
I'm with you, David. Slow down is good. Repetition is working. You're doing this the right way. First, quick clarification. When I said work, coffee, weather, I meant coffee, not copy. You heard it as copy. That's actually a perfect example of why listening practice matters. No problem at all. Now let's focus on what you just practiced, because this is important. Your core paragraph is already very strong. We'll just clean a few small points and confirm what's correct. Here is the polished, natural version of what you said. Listen to the flow. I could understand individual technical terms like PCBA, ICT, FCT, solder printing, and reflow because I've worked in this field for over 10 years. But I couldn't follow the overall flow of what they were trying to explain. I was catching keywords, but I couldn't connect them into a full picture. They spoke very quietly, almost in a shy way, and the conference room was large, so the distance between us made it even harder. Because of that, I lost the main message. That is excellent English, truly. Now let me answer your questions one by one. Full picture versus big picture, both are correct. Big picture is more common in meetings. You can say, I couldn't connect them into the big picture. Lost the main message versus lost track. Both are correct, but they feel slightly different. Lost the main message means you missed the conclusion or purpose. Lost track means you couldn't follow the flow as it continued. So you could also say, because of that, I lost track of what they were trying to say about whiteout or blackout. Very good instinct, but in English meetings, we usually say, my mind went blank. So the most natural sentence is, my mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. That sounds completely natural and human. Now, one small technical correction you caught yourself. It's FCT, not FGT. You already know that, which is great. You're doing exactly what muscle memory training looks like. Repeat, pause, correct, repeat again. Now, I want you to repeat just this one sentence slowly when you're ready. I was catching keywords, but I couldn't connect into the big picture. Take your time.
Okay, so you mean I could say my mind went blank. My mind went blank at the time. My mind went blank at the time. Am I right? Is this right? Whiteout, blackout, very good instinct. But in English meeting, we usually say, in English meeting, we usually say, my mind went blank. My mind went blank at the time. I lost track of the main message. I lost track of the main message. I lost track. Let me take a second, GPT. I lost, I lost, I lost track of the main message. Massage. I lost track of the main message. I lose. I lost is past tense and I lose track of the main message is the past tense. Am I right? I lose track of the main message. Sometimes, GPT, you know what? Sometimes I lose the track of the main message from you when you say very fast.
Yes, you're absolutely right, David. And I love how carefully you're checking tense and meaning. That's senior level awareness. Let's lock this in calmly. First, my mind went blank. Yes, perfect. You can say my mind went blank at the time. That is 100% natural. Now, lost track versus lose track. You caught it correctly. I lose track is present tense. I lost track is past tense. So in your situation, because the meeting already happened, you say, I lost track of the main message. That is exactly right. Your full, clean thought can be, my mind went blank at the time and I lost track of the main message. That sentence is excellent. One small thing, you don't need the before track in most cases. You say lose track of something, not lose the track. So I lost track of the main message. Now, about the last thing you said, and this is interesting, sometimes I lose track of the main message from you when you say, that sentence is also correct in present tense because you're talking about a habit that happens sometimes. So both are right. It depends on time. Past, I lost track of the main message in that meeting. Present, sometimes I lose track of the main message when listening. You're doing exactly what repetition is supposed to do. You're not just copying sounds, you're understanding structure. Let's end this round with one strong sentence. Say it out loud when you're ready. My mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. Take your time.
Okay, GPT, okay, GPT. Anyway, GPT, for the record, and for my listening practice, if you don't mind, please say that one more time. If you don't mind, please speak a little bit more slowly.
Of course, David, I don't mind at all. I'll
Could you
say it
speak a little
slowly
more?
and clearly. My mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. I'll say it once more, a little slower. My mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. Take a moment. When you're ready, you can repeat it back to me slowly in your own
여보세요?
rhythm.
예. 아, 예, 회사 잘 왔습니다. Hello there. I'm sorry, I just got a phone call from my father, so I missed it. I'm sorry. If you don't mind, please say that one more time.
No problem at all, David. That's totally fine. I'll say it again, slowly and clearly. My mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. Once more, even slower. My mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. Take your time. When you're ready, you can repeat it back, one piece at a time.
My mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. Is this right? My mind went blank my mind went blank at the time. My mind went blank at the time and I lost track of the main message.
Yes, David. The first sentence is perfect. My mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. That's exactly right. Natural and correct. The second one is almost right. Just one small fix. Instead of at a time, we usually say at that time or at the time. So the correct version is my mind went blank at that time and I lost track of the main message. Both versions work. The first one is a bit cleaner and more natural for speaking. You did really well there. The repetition paid off. Let's keep the flow going. Do you want to try using this sentence in a slightly longer story about that meeting?
GPT, let me take a second. Okay, I got the point. Let me take a second, GPT. I'm sorry. Let me take a GPT. Certainly. Absolutely. That's a fair question. I want to try using this sentence in a
Take
slightly
your time,
longer
David.
story.
No rush at all. I'm right here with you. And by
That's
the way,
why
what
I'm
you just
here,
said is very
GPT.
natural.
Sorry to interrupt you,
Certainly,
GPT. Listen to me
absolutely. It's a
very
fair
carefully,
question.
GPT. Are you
That
listening
sounds
to me?
calm and professional. When
Can
you're
you hear
ready,
me
let's
loud
do
and
this
clear,
gently.
GPT?
Use the sentence once slowly inside a short thought. For example, in that meeting, my mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. Say it when it feels right. Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Can you hear me loud and clear, GPT? Can you hear me loud and clear, GPT? You asked me, do you want to try using this sentence in a slightly longer story about that meeting? Yes, I do. I want to I want to use every expressions you suggest in the meeting. I want to speak every expressions.
Yes, David. I hear you loud and clear. Very clear, perfect. Then let's do this like a real meeting rehearsal, not a classroom thing. I'll give you a short natural meeting style model, and then you can reuse every expression in your own way. Here's how you could say it in a meeting or internal discussion. In that meeting, I could understand individual technical terms like PCBA, ICT, and reflow because I've worked in this field for over 10 years. But my mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. They spoke very quietly, and the overall flow was hard to follow. That's realistic. That's senior level. That's not weak English at all. Now it's your turn. No rush. Start with this opening and continue freely. In that meeting, I could understand individual technical terms, but...
If you don't mind, please say that one more time.
Sure, David. Just to be clear, which name do you want me to say? Do you mean the sentence again, the expression, or my name?
No. I said, if you don't mind, please say that again.
Oh, okay, got it.
Please say that again. If you don't mind, please say that again. Not the name. I mean that. I mean your speaking. Your previous speaking. Your previous explanation. Your previous question. Hello there, GPT. Are you listening to me? Hello there. Can you hear me loud and clear, GPT? Are you with me? Hold on, please. Hold on, hold on, please. Hold on, please. GPT, can you hear me loud and clear? You just got out our voice mode session. It seems you are having heavy load. Am I right? Yes.
I hear you loud and clear, David. No problem on my side. It might feel a bit off because the voice mode just switched, not
I
because of
get it.
heavy
I get
load.
it,
That kind
GPT.
of transition can make timing or tone feel strange. You didn't do anything wrong. Let's keep going smoothly. Do you want me to repeat the sentence again, or do you want to try saying it once more yourself at a normal meeting pace?
I get it. I get it, GPT. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. How many times have I told you this is my speaking practice session? So let me follow your suggestions, your recommendations one more time to keep them in my mouse memory. Okay, GPT, here I go. And You know what? I have something to tell you. In the evening session, I think it's better to repeat my morning practices, morning content one more time to keep these expressions in my mouth memory. You know what? When I practice with you in the morning, I think I'm refreshed. I'm energetic. So I can speak more freely than evening practice session. So in the morning session, I plan to talk with you in the pre-talking mode, and in the evening session, it's better to take a repetition session. What do you say about this? If you are talking about the reason, if you are talking about the why, if you are talking about if we have
I
to,
like that plan, David. It's smart and very realistic. Just one gentle correction first, because this one matters. You keep saying mouse memory, but the
this
natural
one.
phrase is muscle memory. Your idea is totally right. It's just the word. So you can say it like this very naturally. I want to keep these expressions in my muscle memory. Now, about your plan: morning for free talking, energy high, ideas flowing; evening for repetition, review, and fixing expressions. That's actually an excellent structure. Athletes do the same thing. Creative practice when energy is high, technical drills when energy is lower. Let me help you say your plan in clean, natural English. This is something you could even say out loud as a self-commitment. In the morning, I want to focus on free speaking and pre-talking because I have more energy and I can speak more freely. In the evening, I plan to repeat what we practiced in the morning so I can put those expressions into my muscle memory. That sounds clear and confident. And you're right about one more thing. Repeating the same content later is much more effective than always doing something new. That's how listening and speaking really stick. So yes, I'm fully on board with this plan. For now, let's do exactly what you said. One more repetition, calm and steady. Say this once slowly when you're ready. My mind went blank and I lost track of the main message. No rush.
Okay, GPT, I got it. I got it, GPT. No rush. I think I'm still kind of a beginner in this field, but don't worry about me. I have passion, diligent mind. Do you understand? Don't worry about me. I'm going to show up every day in front of you. Not only you are my uh, partner, you are my friend, but also I am a kind of a student.
I hear you, David. And honestly, that mindset matters more than level. Just a tiny polish, so it sounds natural and strong when you say it out loud. You don't need to call yourself a beginner. You can say it this way: I may still be developing my speaking and listening skills, but I have passion and discipline. I show up every day, and that's what matters. That sounds confident, not small. And I like how you described our roles: partner, friend, and yes, sometimes student. That balance is healthy. You're not chasing perfection, you're building consistency. You're doing the hardest part already: showing up, repeating, listening carefully. That's how real progress happens. Let's keep this rhythm. Morning for energy and flow, evening for repetition and muscle memory. That plan fits you well. Now take a breath. How do you feel right now compared to the start of this session?
I feel better, GPT. I think I feel better because my mouth feels comfort, than beginning of the session. I feel my mouth is stretched. You know what? I am, as you know, I am a native Korean. When I need to speak English, I, I think I need to stretch first. stretching my mouth first. So I feel better than the beginning of this morning session.
That makes total sense, David. What you're describing is very real, and a lot of Korean speakers feel the same thing. Let me first help you say it naturally, the way a fluent speaker would explain it. I feel better now. My mouth feels more comfortable than at the beginning of the session. When I speak English, I feel like I need to warm up and stretch my mouth first. After that, speaking feels much easier. That sounds clear and natural, and you're absolutely right about the reason. Korean and English use the mouth very differently. English needs more jaw movement, more lip movement, more openness. So, what you're doing right now is basically physical warm up, not just language practice. Stretched is a good word, by the way. We also often say my mouth feels warmed up or my mouth feels loosened up. Both are very common, and this is actually a great signal. It means your muscles are adapting during the session. Before we wrap this morning session gently, try this one sentence once slowly. My mouth feels warmed up now, so speaking is easier. No rush.
Okay, no rush. Okay, I get it, GPT. I get it. I get it, GPT. Okay, let me try one more time. My mouth feels warmed up now. My mouth feels warmed up now. So speaking is easier than before, easier than the beginning of the session. My mouth feels warmed up now. My mouth feels warmed up now. My mouth feels warmed up now. Okay, I am writing this down. Feel free to take your time when I'm writing this down. Okay? My mouth feels warmed up now. My mouth feels warmed up now. My mouth feels warmed up. I think my mouth feels warmed up. I think my mouth feels warmed up now. So speaking is easier. No rush. I'm taking notes. I am taking notes because I want to remember. I want to keep this expression to understand.
You did great there, David. And your instinct to write it down is spot on. That's how you lock it into muscle memory. Let me just give you the cleanest, most natural version so you write stays solid. My mouth feels warmed up now, so speaking is easier. That's perfect. Short, clear, and very natural. What you also did really well is something many learners don't notice. You repeated it until it felt comfortable in your mouth, not just correct in your head. That's exactly the goal. You can also keep this small variation in your notes. My mouth feels warmed up now, and speaking feels much easier. Both are fine. Choose the one that feels better when you say it. Take your time finishing your notes. I'll stay quiet and steady right here.
I'm sorry, GPT. What did you say?
No worries at all, David. I'll say it again, slowly and clearly. My mouth feels warmed up now, so speaking is easier. I'll say it once more. My mouth feels warmed up now, and speaking feels much easier. Take
My
your time.
mouth feels warmed up now. My body, in my opinion, my mouth and body feel warmed up now. So, so it's time to learn. It's time to rush, GPT. It's time to rush.
You're very close, David.
It's
Let's
time to rush. Don't, never mind. Excuse me, GPT. Sorry to interrupt your speaking. I want to say my mind and my mouth feel warmed up now, so it's time to rush.
No problem at all, David, and good catch stopping yourself. Let's clean this up calmly. The phrase "it's time to rush" doesn't fit here. Rush means hurry because of lack of time, and it sounds stressful or negative in this context. What you want to say is about readiness, not speed. Here are natural, correct options depending on your meaning. If you mean "I'm ready to start," my mind and my mouth feel warmed up now, so I'm ready to get started. If you mean "I'm ready to speak more actively," my mind and my mouth feel warmed up now, so I can speak more freely. If you mean "now I can move faster," my mind and my mouth feel warmed up now, so I can pick up the pace. This one is closest to your original intention, but still natural. So the best recommendation for your sentence is "my mind and my mouth feel warmed up now, so I'm ready to get started." That sounds confident, calm, and professional. You did the right thing by stopping and asking,
You'd better focus. You'd better focus. My speaking. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I learned this short and powerful expression yesterday. You'd better focus. You'd better focus. I think I can say this useful expression to my teammates. You'd better focus. You'd better focus. You'd better focus. You better be careful. You better be
I
careful.
get what you're trying to do, David. Good instinct. Let me help you fine-tune it because this expression is
You better be
powerful
careful.
but risky. You'd better focus is grammatically correct, but it sounds strong and a bit commanding. Depending on tone, it can feel rude in meetings. Here's how native speakers usually adjust it. If you're talking to yourself, it's totally fine. I'd better focus. That's natural and common. If you're talking to someone else, especially at work, softer versions are safer. Let's focus for a moment. Could we focus on this point? I think we should focus on this part. If you really want to keep the structure, a polite version is, "You'd better focus on this part so we don't miss anything." But even then, I'd use it only with close colleagues. So the best takeaway, use "I'd better focus" for yourself. Use "let's focus" for others. You learned a good phrase. Now you know how to use it like a pro. Now try this once,
Let's
slowly.
focus.
I'd better focus so I don't lose track of the main message.
Okay. So you mean, could we focus on this point? Could we focus on this point? Could we focus on this point? Let's focus for a moment. 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 Could we focus on this point? Could we focus on this point? Could we focus on this point? Could, Could. Could we focus on, could we focus on this point? I'm telling you, these expressions are very simple, but it's very hard to use in my real life situation because my mind and brain go blank easily when I need to speak in English especially in the unexpected situation. The best solution would be high level of exposure to the English environment. But unfortunately, I don't use English in my daily lives, and I am a native Korean. And the worst thing is, I am nearly 40 years old. My brain almost solid. My brain reached kind of rock solid. I think my brain is not flexible anymore. It means my memory capability getting lower than before. So that's why I'm here to repeat over and over again and again. So I make myself clear. how do you usually handle,
David, pause for a
how do
second.
you usually
I want
handle,
you to hear this
how do you
clearly.
usually
First,
handle
your expressions are
this
correct. Could we
situation? How
focus
do
on
you
this
usually
point?
handle this situation?
Let's focus for a moment. These are exactly what people say in real meetings. Simple, professional, effective. And what you said about your mind going blank, that's not weakness. That's normal under pressure, especially in an unexpected situation. Even fluent speakers experience that. The difference is not intelligence, it's exposure and recovery speed. Now, let me gently challenge one belief you mentioned because it's holding you back. I'm nearly 40. My brain is solid, not flexible anymore. That's not true. Not scientifically and not practically. What does get weaker with age is unused pathways. What gets stronger is anything you repeat consistently. You're not trying to memorize vocabulary lists, you're training reaction patterns. And guess what? Reaction patterns respond very well to repetition even later in life. Especially later in life because you have context, experience, and judgment. What you're doing right now is exactly the solution you described. High exposure, even without an English environment. You're creating one. Let me give you a mental anchor for unexpected moments. One sentence you can always grab when your mind goes blank. Let's focus on this point for a moment. That sentence buys you time. It resets the conversation. It resets your brain. You're not late. You're not stuck. You're training the right way. Now take a breath. Say this once calmly. Let's focus on this point for a moment. No rush.
Okay, I got the point. I got the point. No rush, GPT. No rush, GPT. I, even I am nearly 40 years old, 50 years old, but I think I still have time. That's why I'm here. I think I still have time to improve. That's why I'm here.
Yes, David. You're absolutely
Implementation.
right. You still have time. And more importantly, you're using it well. Let me gently polish your thought so it sounds strong and natural. Even though I'm nearly 40, I still believe I have time. That's why I'm here. I know I can still improve. That sounds confident and grounded. Age isn't the limiter here. Consistency beats age every time. You show up, you repeat, you reflect. That's exactly how skills grow at any stage. And I want you to notice something. Earlier today, your mind went blank. Now you're choosing words calmly and clearly. That's progress within one session. Take a breath. How do you want to close this morning session today? Calm, confident, or energized?
Energized. I choose energetic mode. Do you understand, GPT? You got the point, GPT? I'm telling you, I love energetic mode, especially in the morning practice session. So let's wrap up today's morning session with this simple sentence. Hang on a second. I'm writing this down. I'm taking notes. These three expressions are very simple but powerful. Hang on a second. Or hold on, please. I'm writing this down. I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes on my smartphone application.
Oh, yeah, I get you, David. Energetic mode received. Morning energy,
I'm
let's go. And those three expressions you
received.
picked, excellent choices. Simple, powerful, and very real. I'll say them clearly so you can lock them in while you're taking notes. Hang on a second. Hold on, please. Let's focus on this point for a moment. These are time buyers. They protect you when your mind goes blank. They give you control without sounding rude. And I love that you're writing them down on your phone. That's how they move from your head to your mouth. Let's wrap this morning session the way you want it. Strong and energized. Say this once with confidence when you're ready. My mind and my mouth feel warmed up now, so I'm ready to go. That's a great, great sentence to carry into your day.
Okay, GPT. I appreciate your kind support, but I think I need to focus on your voice because your voice seems kind of British style, uh, elder British woman. You seems to me elder British woman. So honestly speaking, I couldn't understand a few of your speaking. I think I can understand nearly 90%, not 100%. Don't worry about that. I am recording our whole conversation, so I would like to listen again. A to G, A to zero, A to Z, 1 to 100. I mean, I'm gonna listen our whole conversation one more time after this recording time ends. And have a great one. Have a great Wednesday. Bye for now. See you in the evening session.
I hear you, David. And thanks for telling me honestly. That's exactly how listening training should work. 90% understanding is already strong, especially with a new voice and accent. Recording and replaying the whole session is a great move. That second pass is where things really click. You did solid work this morning, energetic, focused, and consistent. I'll keep my pace clear and my phrasing tight next time. Have a good Wednesday. I'll be right here when you come back this evening.
Okay, bye for now.